What's up everyone, and welcome to Friday's edition of Reptile News. Now we're going to start off today in Missouri, and I think we finished up Wednesday in Missouri, but we just seem to keep talking about Missouri and Florida lately, and we're actually talking about Missouri and Florida today as well, but don't worry, they're different stories than we talked about before. A police officer's been called a hero. Now I just don't know what to think. Dispatchers received a 911 call after a 5-foot python latched onto a woman's arm and wrapped around it. Apparently her stepson called 911 at which time a police officer showed up, used a butter knife to open its mouth up and get the snake off the woman. Apparently the woman says that her boyfriend will be feeding the snake from now on. Now I've obviously got so many issues with this story, not knowing exactly what kind of python it is. I did see a mention the other day about a ball python attacking somebody in passing on Facebook, I think it was, and I wonder if that wasn't this. But I myself, being somebody who's had to pull a 10.5-foot Burmese python off of him, I can't seem to understand how a 5-foot python can get the better of an adult. But it is what it is. And now we're going to move on to Alabama, where you might remember, this is an update to the story the other day of the child that was bitten by the copperhead at the Alabama Zoo. There is a fly buzzing around here and it's irritating. Well, I am really happy to report now that the child's at home recovering. Apparently over 24 hours the child was given 4 vials of Antivenom. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. And as of right now has little more than a sore foot. Apparently he's got to stay off the foot for a little while, which is probably impossible being 3 years old. I mean, I know I've got a 5-year-old and no, not happening. Now what struck me about this story even more, not so much the story as much as the comments on this story, and the very last part of the story quotes the mother in saying, "We give God all the glory. He was looking after our son that day." Which, you know, is totally fine if you're the religious type of person, is fine, but the comments that ensued on the debate of whether there's a God or not are extremely troubling. I always try to say live and let live. Believe or don't, I don't care. And now let's talk about Florida. And 37-year-old Rachel Lentha, I hope I pronounce that right. I'm so terrible at pronouncing names. You see, if you remember, we talked about before the woman who got her arm ripped off by the alligator. Well, Rachel was this woman, and she finally spoke out for the first time since the incident. Now, there's really nothing super out of place about this story. It's just kind of her account of what happened. She apparently left a populated swimming area and went to a more secluded area where this attack happened. She does say that the man that lifted her out of the water by one arm, she has no idea who he is, and she'd love to meet him and thank him if anybody knows. But most importantly, Rachel has started a GoFundMe campaign, and I really wanted to share that here. She's already raised $21,000 out of the $100,000 to help cover medical costs, etc., etc. So maybe if you got some spare change, you can hop on by there and donate a little bit. I'll leave the link down in the description down below. And that's where I'm going to end today's show. If you'd like to read anything about these stories or anything I talked about today, those links are right down in the description down below. And as always, if you're still watching, now you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other, and I'll see you Monday.